Okay, so welcome everybody to the Smart Life Forum hosted by the Silicon Valley Health Institute. Our mission is to provide credible health education to the public with an emphasis on optimal wellness, anti-aging medicine, and longevity. So my name is Randy Kunke and I'll be the moderator tonight. Is there anybody here who's here for the first time? All right, hey, great showing of new people. Exciting to have you here, okay, good. So those people are quite aware it's $10 to attend for one evening. Our membership for a year is $60, which is a great deal. And that's what funds what we're able to do here tonight is donations, what people pay at the door, and the membership. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and please give money. Also, you can join here tonight, or you can go to our website, which is www.svhi.com. There's also past archives of newsletters and archives of the videos that you can watch there. All right. I hadn't said this before, but if you do have a cell phone on you, please do silence it. And one more important announcement. This didn't really need to go on the tape, but maybe we'll take it out later. The restrooms are out the door and down the hall to the left. And they're a little bit of a walk, not too far, but they'll be down there on the right. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike. Okay, at least it's covered for tonight since it's raining. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start. We've already had a little bit of our potluck. Later on, we'll have a short break, so you can get some more food if you want. But what I'd like to do is go ahead and start the evening as traditionally we do to give people an opportunity to ask questions of the other people in the group. So that one of the things we do around here is we learn from each other's experiences. That's actually quite a nice theme for our speakers tonight too. Each one of them has a journey that they've been through with a particular kind of issue that they dealt with in their life. And you know, there's as many or more journeys like that, everybody sitting in this room. So if you have a question, raise your hand in a moment. And while you're thinking about that, oh, we got one right away. Okay, good. I was going to make an announcement, but here we have a question. All right.
I was wondering if it's known what causes dry eyes or kind of teary eyes, if that's the root cause of that, if that's known or not.
Okay. Anybody want to speak to dry eyes or teary eyes? Steve.
Tearing is one of the autonomic functions of the body, and it's regulated by cholinergic tone, which is the part of the nervous system that uses acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. And so if you expose yourself to something that has anticholinergic side effects, your eyes dry up, and so does your sinuses and your mouth, and if you were female, a vagina, but all of your mucous membranes dry up because that's the cholinergic system is being inhibited. And if you go the other direction and you take a bunch of B5, choline, phosphatidylcholine, GPC, then you can overdrive your cholinergic system and enhance that kind of natural mechanism as well. It's not the only cause of it, but many drugs, including, you know, like let's say marijuana as an example, have anticholinergic side effects. And this not only can cause this dry eye, dry mouth kind of syndrome, but can also aggravate risks of senility syndromes of a broad number.
I can also tell you from personal experience that LASIK surgery can cause dry eyes. And some people like myself, I suffered with it for quite a while, and then I took some of Steve's advice. I think it was pantothenic acid, choline, and there was something else, another hormone, I can't remember the name of it, but that cocktail seemed to work for me.
At what level of a ferritin test should one get concerned about?
Ferritin is a iron storage protein, but it's also what's called an acute phase reactant. In other words, when you get inflamed, your ferritin production goes up. So you don't know if your ferritin is high, and it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing if it's high and unsaturated with iron versus low and fully saturated with iron. So you want to take into account not only your ferritin, but your general level of possible infection or inflammation, and corresponding iron tests that would be described as total iron binding capacity. So that's looking at, there's a saturated, unsaturated version of those. That's looking at how much iron your body can absorb without you having iron overload. And if your TIBC is high, you're safe. And if it's low, you're not capable of binding iron, and your iron system could get overloaded and then leak. And when iron leaks, there's all kinds of really serious consequences to that. And it's very disabling. And in some people, especially men, the onset of symptoms can be very, very sudden. I had one client whose father, at age 61 or 62, came down with a whole host of pathologies, one of which was hepatitis C infection and cirrhosis. And the doctors gave him 6 weeks to live because his cirrhosis was so bad. And the doctors never told him that he had hemochromatosis of 1,300. And so normally 350 or 400 is the top end. So he was like, off the charts in terms of iron. And so when they sent me his medical records, the doctor group that sent them made the mistake of putting this record in that they hadn't given the family, and they sent it to me. And I saw this iron through the top, and I told him all about hemochromatosis and told him to do aggressive bloodletting, which in this case the doctor did a cup a week. Every Friday this guy went in, and within 2 months his hepatitis C infection was down. In 2 weeks it was down 50%, the next 2 weeks it was down another 50%, and his liver was clearing up, and he went on, he told me, I think it was a year later, he's now playing the best golf of his life. And he's still alive.
Cool. Okay, more questions?
Do you recall what his ferritin level was? 1,300. Oh, the 13.
So for the recording, Steve said the ferritin level was 1,300. Okay, other questions? Okay.